Hello, Ironbound Gym. Welcome to Tai Chi Qigong. My name is Stan Rockwell. Going to do our usual, trying to relax things, focus on our breathing, get ourselves ready to sort of flow into the weekend in a gentle, relaxed kind of way. Start off getting our foundation set up. So you have your feet as parallel as you can. About shoulder width apart, but remember in all this you stay in your comfort zone. You don't push anything, you flow into it so that you get more flexible, your balance improves, and you get stronger over time, but you stay healthy the whole time you're doing it. So if having your feet parallel to each other causes you issues with your knees and you have to have your toes out a little bit, that's okay. What we want to really focus on is the principles of balance and being in harmony with gravity. So we have our feet trying to almost sink down into the floor, to the earth, depending on where you are. Have them feel like you're equally balanced across each foot. So you're same left, same right, 50-50, but also front and back. So you're not leaning in any direction. You can visualize roots growing into the earth from three points in your feet, ball of the foot at the base of the big toe, ball of the foot at the base of the little toe, center of the heel, so you have that structure of a 3-point stance that's very stable in each foot. You have acupressure points in the center of each forefoot called bubbling wells or yang chen. It's the first acupressure point in the kidney meridian. You can visualize energetic connection to the earth. Anything that's going to get you very stable and very secure to the floor and very grounded. So you just feel how the bottoms of your feet feel against the insides of your shoes or against the floor and the earth. And once you're firmly connected downwards, connect yourself upwards. You have another acupressure point, not quite at the center of your top of your head, but a little bit behind that. It's the crown chakra in yoga. And visualize an energetic connection pulling you up, or a line attached there pulling you up. And as it does, it stretches you upwards and makes you taller. It starts to make adjustments to your body. Stretches out your spine and stacks the vertebrae on top of each other. It starts to give your spine more of a J shape instead of that S shape that we're usually in. So the hips move back a little bit, the tailbone drops down a little bit. Tops of your hips become parallel to the floor. Tops of your shoulders become parallel to the floor. Your shoulders relax down the center line. So they're not up around your ears when you're really stressed, or slouch forward when you're feeling sad, or pull back like you're standing at attention, which is a very rigid kind of stressed way of standing too. You just want to relax down the center, evenly balanced, so one's not higher than the other. They're each the same distance from the floor. Imaginary line across your eyes and ears, parallel to the floor. And that line lifts up the back of your head, tucks in your chin a little bit. It makes you move your head back over your shoulders a bit to get your head nice and balanced on your shoulders. So again, your head's not tilted to the left, right, front, and back of the corners. It's right in the middle. If you drop a line from that bowway spot, it's straight down through the middle of your body, through the perineum. It'll hit the floor in a perpendicular line. Depending on how you're built, it'll be equally distant from each ankle, from each bubbling well, or somewhere in between. Take a little bit of a bend in your knees. There's always going to be some softness in your knees and softness in your elbows. Never fully compress or fully extend. And you just soften down into it. And just relax. Once you get your body in harmony with gravity and you're not doing any extra work to stay up, you focus on your breathing. Inhale through the nose, down to your diaphragm. You feel an expansion all the way around about hip level. You touch the tip of your tongue to the roof of your mouth behind your front teeth. The Chinese medicine that connects the energy channel down the front and the back of your body. It also disengages the muscles in your jaw so you can't clench your teeth. On the exhale, you just pull the pelvic floor up. Move as much air out as you can. Typically through your nose, but if you want to exhale through your mouth, there's an extra relaxation response you can do with that. As you breathe out, you release the tongue and you just sigh. With that sound, you let whatever tightness is inside, whatever tension is inside, just flow out and away from you. Just breathe at your own pace. Make the exhale last just a little bit longer than the inhale. Again, that engages the relaxation response. So if you're counting, if you inhale on the count of 5, you exhale on the count of 6 or 7 or 8. And you just do a brief body scan if you feel any tightness anywhere. The top of your head down to your fingertips, to your tips of your toes. Just breathe into it and let it soften. And then you just let your arms float up with your palms facing, just like you have strings pulling your arms up. Turn your hands as you press in. You push your head back just a little bit to feel some movement in your neck. Turn your hands. Press out. Your hands come back down. You tuck your chin just a bit to feel some stretch in the back of your neck. Inhale all the way up. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. We'll do one more. Back to the center. Your arms come up again with your palms facing. One hand drops down, palms towards the floor, other arm folds over. These logon points or acupressure points where your fingers touch in your palm and the upper dantian. See this third eye in yoga. They'll connect. And you want to keep that connection unbroken as you turn 70% of your range of motion to that side. As you come back to the middle, the lower hand comes up. Palms face briefly, hands straight places. Move off to the other side. Inhale to the center. Exhale. And then back to the center. For your shoulders, you just roll your shoulders forward. If you have issues with rotator cuffs, an alternate way of doing it is just rotate your arms so your palms are facing behind you and just rotate the elbows so you get some movement in the shoulders, but you don't feel a lot of pressure on it. And then just reverse, shoulder rolls to the back. Inhale as your arms come up. Exhale on the way down. Inhale. Exhale. Back to the center. Let your arms come up again with your palms facing them. Raise your hands so your fingertips are pointed straight up. Bring your arms in so your forearms and your hands touch. If that causes you issues with your shoulders, just relax your elbows out. But then this is also for the shoulders, but also the upper chest and upper back. So as you inhale, and separate. Exhale, they come back together. And then just pause when your arms are about shoulder width apart again, and just let your hands tilt towards you and away from you. Towards and away from each other. Circles one way, circles the other way. Then just reach your arms out and let your arms expand outwards. But again, you don't lock the elbows. It's just that expansion and contraction. Inhale as your hands come back. Exhale when they go out. Bring your hands together and just hold hands and just circle around and get through your wrists. First in one direction, then the other direction. You can do it as fast or as slow as you want. Just kind of flex your hands out. Bring your hands so fingers are facing each other. On this one, as you inhale, just visualize your fingers stretching outwards. And you can stretch your hands, but you visualize the bones and the joints in your wrists, hands, fingers all getting expansion as you inhale. Exhale, they just relax back. So inhale, expand the joints. Exhale, they come back. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. One more. And then hold the ball. We're going to do a little bit more for the wrists. So just pretend you have a ball, maybe the size of a volleyball or soccer ball. And you want to keep holding onto that ball, so you keep your palms facing as you start to rotate that ball around. Rotate it, rotate it. Switch. You want to make sure you're keeping those Lao Gong points lined up, so you're not going to miss. You're keeping your palms facing each other, so you're really feeling the movement in your wrists. And then back to the center hole in the ball. Going to stretch the back a little bit. Lower hand's going to rotate out, press up. Upper hand's going to press down. If you want, you can do a little bit of a twist to the side. So exhale outwards and an inhale to the center. And then you're back in the center. You're going to rotate from side to side, but only from the hips up. Everything from the hips down stays nice and still. So I've got this hand on top. I'm going to rotate till the hands line up with the hip on that side. Then again, keeping the palms facing. Turn the hands around into the other side. And if you want, you just synchronize your breathing, so you're inhaling in one direction and exhaling in the other. Back to the center. Hands go to one side like you're pressing into a wall. Shift all your weight into that foot. So now this foot is my foundation. When I'm equally balanced on each foot, it's like I have an invisible line around the outside of my feet, and my center is right in the middle of that foundation. When I shift all my weight into one foot, there's no weight on this foot. This is my foundation. So I'm centered right in the middle of that foot. Put the hands out to the side, and foot goes out however far you want. You just want to feel some stretch right here in your hip. Come back to the center. It's an exhale and inhale. Hands come back down, palms facing towards the floor, just like visualizing resting on a rail. So shift all your weight into one foot, and this is for the hips. Hands go back just a little bit to counterbalance. Weightless foot goes forward, heel touches. Hands come back to the center. If you need to rebalance, you just touch your forefoot in. Hands go forward, forefoot touches behind you, but you keep yourself nice and perpendicular over the weighted foot. And again, if you want, you just synchronize your breathing. This always reminds me of a clock. The pendulum swinging, the arms counterbalancing. You don't even have to touch your foot down if you don't want to. Just kind of keep your foot in a straight line, which means, again, you have some bend in your knees. And to a workshop on balance this week via Zoom. They talked about all the different things that can affect your balance, and when you do a balance program, you need to really individualize it for yourself. Back to center, toes pointed towards the corner. But sleep affects your balance. If you didn't get a good night's sleep, your balance is going to be a little bit off. Things like blood pressure medication affect your balance, and if that gets changed, it can take a couple of weeks for your balance to get back to where it was. So, what you want to do, and part of the practice of Tai Chi and Qigong, is you're focusing on being balanced all the time in all your movements, so you get sort of a well-rounded balance program instead of just practicing standing on one foot. It even suggested doing that with your eyes closed, so you take away that visual context, and that's typically what I do in the mornings. All your weight's on this foot, empty foot's going to come out, toes going to touch, punch with the opposite hand. But if you're just starting out, you really want to do it with your eyes open. And when you try with your eyes closed the first time, you might want to have your hand on the back of the chair or something to keep yourself balanced. With all of this, you stay in your comfort zone. So exhale and inhale. The other interesting thing from that was, in order to get the benefits of balance training, whether it's physical therapy, and Tai Chi was the other one that they used in this program, you have to do it 2 to 3 times a week at least, from 10 to 45 minutes each time. And it takes about 2 months for that to get the maximum benefit from it. And then if you stop, after about 2 months, all the benefits will go away, so it's important to keep practicing. Shift all your weight over into one foot, rotate on the forefoot, step up however far is comfortable for you, but notice there's some space between the feet. Shift your weight up, keeping your knees lined up with your toes. Knee in the front stays behind your toes, and you punch with the opposite hand. And loosen up the knees a little bit. Just an exhale and inhale. Not sure if you can hear all the locusts out today. They're pretty loud. The last time they came out walking our dog, and he liked to have him as snacks. If they fly by his head, he'd reach out and grab one. He had good reflexes in those days. He's about 10 years old now, so I'm not sure he's going to be grabbing him. All your weight in one foot, heel and toe. Get your ankle set. Still pretty spry. Body weight on the other foot and other ankle. Then for the lateral motion of the ankle, pick a spot on the floor. Outside, inside, the foot touches close to the same spot as you can. Same thing on the other side. And being very kind to your knees and hips and ankles. Shift all your weight into one foot. First make circles in one direction. In the other direction. Same thing on the other side. In reverse. And just relax and start to shift your weight from one side to the other. And again, this is called pouring. So you visualize like you're pouring warm, salty water from one side to the other. Just cleansing all the cells in your body, again, from the tips of your toes up to the top of your head, down your fingertips. And just shift your weight. Visualize clean water coming through, and then it goes into the ground when it's got all those impurities out. And you shift your weight a little more, just turning your arms from one side to the other. You want to practice something every day. Some differences every day. There's a couple of places that are doing free Qigong and Tai Chi online every day. One is Spring Forest Qigong, and you can find them on Facebook. And the other is a person named Violet Lee. I think Spring Forest usually does it around 9 or 10 every morning. And Violet does hers around 11 o'clock. Every morning. There's some pretty good stuff there. Pretty interesting things. With this, you just relax your body and your arms are swinging like tether balls attached directly to your spine. You're just kind of loosening up every muscle in your body. The second part of pouring is drumming, where you just tap back your pressure points. Start off with that little hollow just inside your shoulder, end of your collarbone. It's on the lung meridian. And then base of the rib cage. And then inguinal crease just inside the hip. The hand in the back is hitting the buttock just inside the hip too, but again, not very hard. It's just a cap. Then lower dantian, just with your hands kind of cupped, or with your fingertips, either one, whichever feels best for you. And then back to the swing. When you're swinging, you're so relaxed, the unweighted foot, the heel does come up off the floor just a little bit. And come back to the center. Going to hold a really large ball, loosen up the back a little more. Upper hand's going to keep the head fairly still. Lower hand, the fingers, direction they're pointing is going to take that hip out. Just a little bit if you've had any hip surgeries or any issues with the lower back. Just take it easy. Stay in whatever your comfort zone is. 70% of that. One of the teachers on Spring Forest Qigong the other day was doing the swing, but was doing it not quite as vigorously as that. Again, pointing out that if you have lower back issues, you stay in your comfort zone. You're doing it more like this. But then they took it into Oftentimes in Qigong, they talk about shaking your Qi, and they will try to get you to loosen up everything. So the purpose is for energy to flow. If you practice yoga, Qigong sort of has a similar translation to pranayama. You're looking to increase your breath work and the energy work. So the shaking your Qi is just kind of bouncing around, letting your arms flap around. And the teacher did this for probably 20 minutes or so, and then kind of brought the hands up, just letting them shake around. Just paying attention to how you feel in your body and how you're breathing. Just back down. You can move around a little bit when you're doing it. Shifting, turn from side to side. And just relax. And hopefully after that your hands are tingling a little bit, which is kind of in Qigong is a sense that you're doing it skillfully, getting some energy moving out into your hands. We've done one where it's called yin-yang breathing, where your arms come up, they come in, and they press down. I'll show it to you from the side. Get yourself nice and balanced. Arms float up. Sometimes, at least for me, hands start to tingling just doing that. They come in, press down, hips go back a little bit. Inhale up and exhale down. There's a visualization with it, where you visualize energy moving up and down those energy channels we talked about earlier. The governing channel in the back, perception channel in the front. One of the front runs from the tip of your tongue to the perineum, the one in the back runs from the perineum up the back of your body, up the back of your neck, top of your head, down into the roof of your mouth, and that's why they encourage you to touch the tip of your tongue to the roof of your mouth. You also see it as increasing the production of saliva, which in the sitting version of 8 pieces of brocade, one of the movements is just moving your tongue around the inside of your mouth to work up saliva that you swallow to help with digestion and to lower the acidic level in your mouth, help reduce cavities and things like that. So as you're doing this, you visualize energy. You can do it whichever direction you want, running down the front, up the back, or vice versa. Just as like a very pure light going down and up. And the second version of yin-yang breathing, have your hands lower dantian, middle dantian. Just focus on your breath. You're going to have this hand come down on the inside as the other hand comes up on the outside, up to about the lower dantian, just below, almost to the upper dantian, and hands don't touch when they go past each other, but they come pretty close. Synchronize your breathing. One thing you may notice as your hands pass is you can feel something. Something like some form of energy kind of maybe a tingling or something when your hands go past each other. Slow, slower. back to center. This next one comes from something called Bagua. Bagua stands for 8 trigrams. If you've ever studied I Ching, the trigrams are the symbols that are like broken lines or solid lines, symbols of yin yang. So we're going to bring our hands together. Bagua Shang is the trigram's palm. It's a martial art. It's also an internal martial art like Tai Chi. You can have your feet with your toes pointed straight ahead. Since they do circle walking, and that sometimes they practice this with the toes pointed inwards and your knees again lined up with your toes. I've had issues with my knees since I was about 10 years old. I'm going to have mine pointed straight forward, at least for now. Bring your hands together like that. And they can be lined up with your chin, lined up with your heart, somewhere in between. There's space under your arms. And they use this as a standing meditation to try to even up the energy on both sides of your body. If you practice yoga, you do the alternate nostril breathing. This is sort of that with your whole body. Sort of energy going from one side to the other. We'll hold this for maybe 5 minutes. We're not going to do it that long. But there's a couple of ways they help get the energy moving and also starting to get your legs a little stronger and get your body ready for the movement in Bagua. We're going to shift pushing with the leg one side to the other. In Tai Chi, you sort of roll around that lower dantian, which eventually will in this too, but when you start off, you move the legs, which are the biggest muscles in your body. And whenever you're trying to move something, you want to use the biggest muscles in your body. Slowing it down a little bit, so try to get it in sync with the breathing. When you're doing this, you're also practicing something called opening and closing Hua. Hua is basically the hip. The inguinal crease, you're opening and closing as you go from one side to the other. Come back to the center. The next one is, it's a good practice for sitting and strengthening your hips. I'll show you from the side. Hands go out a little bit. Hips move back a little bit. So you're keeping your head over your foundation and back. Maintain your balance, staying centered over your foundation. But those are a couple of short, simple exercises you can practice too. You're just doing this, you're working on your balance. You're working on keeping yourself centered over the foundation. Talk about balance, let's do a little bit. Shift all your weight into one foot, either foot, it doesn't matter. The other foot naturally pops up off the floor, the heel does. Just let that foot float up. You need to keep your hand on the wall or a chair, that's okay. Or need to keep your forefoot on the floor, that's okay. But you just relax into it and stay centered over your weighted foot. Shift all your weight into the other side, get nice and relaxed, sink down into it, other foot just naturally floats up. This time your knee just floats up like you have a helium balloon attached to it. Sometimes if you just point your index fingers to the floor, it helps ground you, or you can experiment with fingers on your hands, but it's often taught index finger. Some teachers use that to help you ground yourself, not just physically, but emotionally, psychologically as well. This time it's the heel that comes up, just like taking a step. Other side. You just bring your leg up, put your hand on your thigh. The other side. If you've got room, you take a little walk, otherwise you can walk in place. Shift all your weight into one foot, feel the other foot release. Slowly go straight forward. And then you can lower yourself on your back leg. As you're centered over that leg, just pause and let that foot in the front come down. It seals, and once it's nice and secure, as you shift your weight, put in the back and let go. Come up, inhale. Exhale. Let your foot come down very gently. Doesn't make a sound at all. And just reverse. If you don't feel comfortable walking backwards, you don't have to do that. Just turn around and walk straight back where you came from. Just focus on how the bottoms of your feet feel, on your breathing. Let everything else melt away. Come back to the center. And the form that maybe incorporates all the principles really well. I've had more than one teacher, more than one source say this, is wave hands like clouds. And there are different versions of doing it, especially with a step work and chin stone. You step like that, with the rest of them step like that. But we're going to do it standing in place, shifting our weight from one side to the other, just like you do when you're pouring. So that's the feet. And if you remember the movement of the legs when we're doing this, let's start to shift the weight like that. Again, keeping your knees lined up with your toes and very soft. And just hold the ball. And just continue holding the ball. Keeping your palms lined up. This is one version. Kind of a standalone Qigong version. If you study Yang style Tai Chi, you do it like this. Palms face towards you. Upper hand goes palm out, drops down like it's going to hit a drum. Palms face towards you when they come past. wrestling style. Upper hand's palm out, lower hand's palm down. Upper hand again drops down like it's going to hit a drum. The upper hand, fingertips are about level with your chin. Try it different ways and see which ones feel right for you at that time, which one's making your hands tingle more right now. This one's working better for me, but different times of the same day or different days will be different for you, because we're not static beings. Everything is constantly changing. Back with your hands facing, you just inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. One more. Let's come up for open and close. Inhale, exhale, just like all of energy is trying to expand and compressing you down. Hands back down, hips go back. Again, keeping your head over your foundation. Exhale down, inhale up. And hands come up in a circle, again by level with your chin. Back down as you inhale. Exhale. Rotate till your left hand lines up with your left hip. Right hand on top, inhale. Let your hands separate, exhale as they come closer together. Same thing on the other side. As you rotate, keep the palms facing. Back to the center, and then hands come up, and it's massage in the back, front. Arms come around in the front for a standing stick, standing pole. A little bit of a bend in the knees, and tailbone tucked in. Back of the head rises, head nice and balanced on your shoulders. Just inhale and exhale. 2 more breaths at your own pace. Balance everything out. Inhale up, exhale down. Last one. Thanks for joining me. Stay safe, healthy, and well, and I hope you have a great weekend. Relax. Take care. See you next time.